deliberately, I got this cover done by my own friend, who is a Yadav from UP, and with my idea and his hand. You all should tell me whether, because the Hindutva people were writing all over. This fellow writes against Brahmanism, Brahmins, and is why I'm not a Hindu as a cover with a Brahmin across his body, a cross thread, and a shoe polishing man is polishing. He is looking at that, not at the shoe also. Can he do that against a Muslim mullah? He will be eliminated. Can he criticize Islam? The terrorists will come and kill. They're there everywhere in the cells. So Chandramohan, and I also wanted to shift, the whole publishing culture from Delhi to Hyderabad. And I gave it to a local publisher who just started, Chandramohan, with a Telangana publication. And entirely thing was done here. So look at the cover carefully. My friend who is a Yadav, to get him painted this, it took 7 drafts of sketching. I told him, a Muslim mullah with a long beard and with all the Muslim Asaduddin type Sharwani and a fully burqa-faced wife besides him. But Asaduddin never brings his wife out also. But he should bring out. And a Brahmin with his, cross, sacred thread, how sacred it is, the Muslim should understand. And how mullah is, covering his hair. बाल अगर मुस्लिम वुमन कवर नहीं कर सकता है, कुछ हो जाता है. तो उसका दाढ़ी देख सकता है कोई, कुछ नहीं हो जाता है. तो वो भी देखना है. So that woman also should see his beard and all that. And behind that, there is a man milking from a black buffalo, not white cow. And Dalit, Shudra kind of women are cutting crops. And behind that, there is a mall. And a woman in jean pant and sleeveless shirt is there as a statue. You go to malls, you can see that statues. And, Ajkal, BJP leaders are coming with British caps. You see Modi and Amit Shah. And when Ambedkar wore that cap, he was attacked as an agent of colonial British. Communists attacked him, wearing suit and boot and wearing this. Gandhi said you should wear only. Gandhi never wore the cap, but he gave it to Nehru all the time. you Brahmin guy, machala, do it. I will never be a clean shaven this and that. Now the problem, if only I were not to work in Maulana Azad and with friends, various kinds of Muslim women and girls from poor families, and if I were not to be a friend of Joseph for last 25 years, suddenly one day he came to my house. I was living in a small slum-like place. He came in searching, so along with his friend, and then there were no cell phones in those days, so he came searching. He said, I am Joseph D'Souza. I read your articles in Hindu. I read Why I Am Not a Hindu. I wanted to discuss with you. I said, I didn't know what, he looked absolutely like a Brahmin in color and well built. And I look like what I am, like a buffalo fellow with all that. And he came and I asked in the seat. So he said, Mr. Kancha Ilaiah, you are writing so much and attacking Christians. Tell me what we should do for you people. Then I told, I never met him or whatever. No, I only want English education to my children in the villages. If you can give that, maybe Jesus will take you up into the heaven. And Jesus is sitting on the right side of God. You may be sitting to the left side of God. So he started a campaign, and one not 110 schools in the Indian villages in English medium for poorest of the poor. And the school that, with his help, started in my village in 2002 has now 300 children. They hardly pay 8,000 for 10th class with shoes, books, and all that. And my sister-in-law the other day went to Diwali and came back and saying, 15 students studied in that school from my village are in America studying MS now. And doctors, engineers, and she says, whichever young boy comes, see, they're speaking only in English in the village. Papayapeta has become completely a village speaking, English speaking village now. So that is he, and we always discuss. Without him, I would not have understood the Christian world, and without Maulana experience, I would not have come out this book also. So now there are several questions. Now I must see after this book come whether the RSS challenge, uh, what mullah and the Brahminic priest and their women relationship, my critique, what happens. No, after this book, they can, if I am killed, the Hindutva people can say, no, 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 Muslims killed you because of this book, not we. And the Muslims can say that, no, 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 there are some good ideas about it. He has been critiquing the Hindutva and RSS, BJP, right from his student days. So you killed and you killed. And who killed? I don't know whether Allah will know, or God will know, or Pochama will know. I don't know. Now, coming to my questions, I have been a really troubled human being. And I write entirely like a shepherd deals with the sheep. It's a very simple methodology. There are sheep here. You have to count early morning how many are there, anyone has missed, and then feed them till the evening and make them sleep and again do the same thing. My writing methodology is exactly like that. It is not in the library, but is in the fields. So when I wrote about four religions, generalized, very generalized form, without going into details and quoting books and their texts, in post into India, I said Hinduism is spiritual fascism. In the present form, it cannot be transformed because the text Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda up to Bhagavad Gita as of now will not allow for transformation. Then I said Buddhism, Christianity, Islam are spiritual democracies. Transformation is possible. But after my engagement with Muslim friends, with Muslim organizations, Jamaat-e Islami, Jamaat-e Ulma, and then my experience with Maulana Azad, man-woman relationship, and looking at the Muslim world, the entire 56 Muslim countries, I came to a conclusion that there was some mistake in my generalization about Islam getting included on par with Buddhism and Christianity as spiritual democracy, As of now, I think that it is spiritual authoritarianism. For the simple reason that the Muslim world has not negotiated well with the idea of democracy. Because the Muslim countries have not adopted democracy at all, except uh, the Eastern Muslim countries, Malaysia and Singapore.
Indonesia.
Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore. But my best examples are Malaysia and Singapore only. Where, so having said this, I've been consistently thinking sleeplessly after my retirement, and I reached 65 when the Vaishyas wanted to kill me. And then, yeah, they said they wanted to kill me. And Joseph, you don't know whether, in the TV channels I said, yeah, you kill me. I told my relatives, my brother, children, and I'll be buried in my village opposite the Good Shepherd School. After that, I will resurrect. And then see what I will do to this whole country. They were dead scared. They were dead scared, and now I am alive. So, my question was, in 2016, I wrote one very generalized article in Andhra Jyoti. It went to the court, and my present lawyer is sitting here, my senior lawyer. The title of the article in Telugu was, "Is God democratic or not?" So on that, there was a case against me, and my lawyer took a stay on that, and that case went up, is dead there now. Now later on, I started thinking: is God meant God and Allah or Ishwar in Hindu language? Are three of them meant only to send people to heaven or Jannat, or are they meant to produce food also? Who should produce food if God is not meant for production? Whether Bible as a book is dealing with production or not, I read. Basically from that point. And then I read Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, because when I was writing my thesis, God as political philosopher, Buddha, and there. Buddhism was known as Sramana. Srikant is a big scholar, worked with Dalit movement. Buddhism is a Sramanism. But Brahmanism is anti-Sraman, anti-work, anti-production. Production is pollution. And women's menstruation is pollution. Child procreation is pollution. These are things. Then I read Quran. Quite, maybe I think, Afroz and my other friends must start writing. I did not find much discourse in Quran with regard to Allah and production. Quran starts with the idea of man, human being, man. The word man is used in all religious texts. There is no woman used, including Karl Marx. He wrote only about man, but not about human being. So Quran talks about surrendering human consciousness and mind and body to Allah. And constant discussion about reaching Jannat. Now the question is, I was asking Joseph, he's a bishop of a very big Good Shepherd church here. He speaks all over the world in churches. I went to some black churches as well. So whether the idea of God in Bible is related to production, animal grazing, and human survival, or it is only about going to heaven? I found there are a number of places where Bible discusses about production. Now in Quran this is missing. Secondly, okay, that is the book. But do they discuss anything about the relationship between Allah and production in their mosques? I don't find. It is about again the relationship about there. And in Hinduism, I wrote an article which shocked them. I said the Shudras, Dalits, Adivasis in Hindu society cannot go to heaven because already there are Brahmins there. Because that is their heaven they built. And they are at the gate. You can't become priest, you can't read that book, and you can't go to a, and if you go there, you will eat meat, not non-vegetarianism, meatarianism, beefarianism. The Shudras, Dalits, Adivasis eat beef, and the Swarga Sukha Bhojanam there is only vegetarian. He will not allow you. So I told the Shudras, you will have to find another another heaven. And all these years, ever since Rigveda was written, you are searching somewhere in the skies, hanging around without heaven anywhere. So only my mother went to heaven because I have built for her an independent heaven. If India needs to survive with these multi-religions, then all these religions have to reform, starting from home and spiritual centers. The home should become democratic. And when home is democratic, and then civil society outside becomes democratic, then the church as masjid or temple become democratic. And church and masjid becomes democratic, civil society becomes democratic, Ambedkar kind of democracy can survive in the nation. Otherwise, it will collapse.